Hello, shea butter babies. It is I, your favorite chocolate friend, Neosoulgod. But you can just call me Neo. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for you and for me. And I'm so glad to be here with you. Oh my goodness, it is that time again. Good Lord. Let me actually cut some tunes on here. Let me cut some music on. It's time for another Unearthed Arcana. Let's see what this is actually talking about this time. Because I thought the Artificer was kind of mid, if I'm being real. The Artificer was a little mid. I do have it up, the Artificer Unearthed Arcana from last year, but I wasn't really feeling it, if I'm being real. So we are going to take a look at Unearthed Arcana 2025 Forgotten Realms subclasses. So even though the new player's handbook and everything is set in is a Dragonland setting, if I'm correct. They're bringing back over some Forgotten Realm subclasses that we are going to take a look at today, and this will be kind of edited and uploaded to YouTube as well. So hello YouTube as well. Greyhawk. What did I say? I said Dragonlance, didn't I? Yes, we're in Greyhawk now. Thank you so much. Okay, let's take a look. Of course, we get the same disclaimers that we always get. This is playtest material, blah, 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 the power level. But let's hop right into it. Subclasses. This section presents the following subclasses: the College of the Moon, Knowledge Domain, Purple Dragon Knight. Ooh, we gonna see how that one goes. Oath of the Noble Genies. Very excited to read that one. Winter Walker, Scion of the Three, Spellfire Sorcerer, and Bladesinger. Hopefully, Bladesinger is not trash because I hated Bladesinger in the 2014 role set. Okay. College of the Moon Bard. Inspire allies with primal tales. The College of the Moon traces its origins to the ancient druidic circle of the Moonshae Isles. Wow, we are really deep in we are deep in Faerun, aren't we? The Forgotten Realms for sure. I haven't thought about the I haven't thought about the Moonshae Isles in a long time. Hating Bladesinger is a hot take. I know. It's not good though. Bladesinger's trash. It doesn't do anything for Wizard. It doesn't do anything for it at all, in my opinion. Let's see. Moonshae Isles, who entrusted the first bards of the tradition with chronicling the stories of the island and their people. Bards of this college draw from the Isles' fey magic and the primal power of the moon wells to bolster their allies, protect the natural world, and inspire their bardic works. Such works tend to be based on well-known Moonshae myths, as the whimsy of the fairy pranksters, the viciousness of the beast, and the mysteries of the moon wells. Moonshae folktales. As a magic action, you can invoke the power of a folktale, imbuing yourself with primal magic until you use this feature again. When you use this feature, choose which of the following folktales you invoke. Your choice gives you certain benefits while this magic is active. Tale of life. You invoke a tale of vitality and thriving earth. When you restore hit points to a creature with a spell, you can expend a bardic inspiration die and increase the amount of hit points restored by a number equal to the roll of the bardic inspiration die. You can do this only once per turn. Okay, so this is interesting because healing is already so much stronger in this rule set. You know what I'm saying? Healing is so much stronger in the new player's handbook, right? I mean, Cure Wounds is doing 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, right? That's some pretty beefy healing, right? And also adding bardic inspiration on top of that. I mean, I said it once and I'll say it again. Playing a healer is going to make you feel very, very good at healing. Playing support characters, you're definitely going to feel that you are supporting your group, right? So just adding bardic inspiration plus your spellcasting modifier plus how just beefy healing is in general, this could be very interesting. This could be very potent. Tale of Gloam. You invoke A Tale of Mystery and Secrets. When you use a bonus action to give a creature Bardic Inspiration die, you can take the disengage or hide action as part of the bonus of that bonus action. That's interesting too. I think it gives some good utility. We're gonna zoom in. Get some good utility. Keeping on the move while still supporting people. I think that's very interesting as well. Don't hate it. The Tale of Mirth. You invoke a tale of merriment and fey guile. When an enemy you can see within 60 feet of yourself succeeds on a saving throw, you can take a reaction to expend a Bardic Inspiration die. The creature then must roll the Bardic Inspiration die and subtract the number rolled from the save's total, possibly causing the save to fail. Again, very good stuff. Messing with dice rolls is always fun as a bard. That was one of my favorite things about, I think it's not creation. Is it creation that gets to do that? That messes. I know that several bardic colleges do that, but just being able to do it, it always feels good to do this. So no notes here. Just bringing that back. Having more bards be able to do this than just like lore and stuff like that is always fun. And giving it as a reaction, always good too. Bards don't have a mess of reactions, but I know that they can do them a lot more in this rule set now. Also at level 3, we get Primal Lorist. You learn Druidic in 1 cantrip from the Druid spell list. It counts as a bard spell for you and doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know. Additionally, choose one of the following skills: Animal Handling, Insight, Medicine, Nature, Perception, or Survival. You have proficiency in that skill. I think you would also get Lore. Yes, Lore. I think you would also get Expertise at this level too, so you could like double up. I think Knowledge Domain is in here as well. You have proficiency with that skill, so yeah, getting Expertise at 3rd level as well. You could also take this subclass, get that, and then give it Expertise as well. So that's pretty interesting. Also, you know, bards doing druid things, I don't really hate that actually. Level 6, Blessing of the Moonwells. You always have the Moonbeam spell prepared. As a bonus action, you can cast Moonbeam without expending a spell slot. When you cast it using this feature, you glow faintly while you maintain concentration on the spell. While glowing, you shed dim light out to 5 feet, and whenever a creature fails its saving throw against the effects of this moonbeam, another creature of your choice that you can see within 60 feet of you regains 2d4 hit points. Oh my god. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore your use of it by expending a level 3+ spell slot, no action required. This is interesting. Simply because making the bard rely on a spell, making my loot a shillelagh is a wild thing, by the way. I would do the same probably, because shillelagh builds are cracked. Like, I don't know if y'all know how good shillelagh is now. It's very reminiscent of like 3rd edition 3.5 Pathfinders. Like, it increases like not weapon size but damage die as it scales now. Like, this is pretty interesting. First of all, casting Moonbeam is a bonus action, so you can't cast 2 spells in 1 turn. Still can't do that. 2 leveled spells in 1 turn, you still can't do that. But putting Moonbeam as a bonus action, and then that does have a little bit of synergy with this, because it says when you where is it? It's Tale of Life. When you restore hit points to a creature with a spell, technically, I don't know if they meant this or not, but technically you are doing so with this Moonbeam, right? But even still, there's a lot of utility here, because again, this bonus action casting of Moonbeam, right? It doesn't say that you can't move Moonbeam. Hold on, let me check Moonbeam. Let me check new Moonbeam, actually. So you can cast it as a bonus action. So essentially what you could do here, right? A little bit of synergy. You could bonus action cast Moonbeam. Boom, it comes into being. they immediately take damage, and I think the order of it is a little weird. You know, putting the magic action to move it again. Maybe you put that. I'm used to that being towards the end of the spell, but anyway. So, bonus action Moonbeam, right? And they take the damage, right? You can then proc this ability, Tail of Life, to heal somebody by, you know, because this doesn't take anything except for the fact that healing happens when you restore hit points to a creature with a spell, which technically this Moonbeam is doing as a rider effect, right? Very interesting that that's happening, and essentially it's doing the same healing as a first level healing word plus bardic, and then you can, as your action, move it to somewhere else, doing it all over again. You see them? That's nuts, because it doesn't say once per round. Oh, you can do this only once per turn. Yes, it does. But even still, you're proccing Moonbeam twice in one turn. That could be very interesting. I don't know, man. Moonbeam is one of my favorite spells of all time, so I kind of dig this feature. And the fact that bards are getting it in the first place without having to get magical secrets for it, that's also really cool. And the fact that it's not just dealing damage, but it's also healing, also getting your other rider effects going, I think that's very interesting. Level 14, Bolstered Folktales. This is our capstone. One spell with a spell slot per turn on a turn. You can expend only one spell slot to cast a spell. This rule means you can't, for example, cast a spell with a spell slot using the magic action and another one using a bonus action on the same turn. Busted. Anyway, Bolstered Folktales. The power of your Moonshade Folktales improves. When you use your Tail of Life or Tail of Mirth, you can roll a d6 and use the number rolled in place of expending a Bardic Inspiration die. And when you use your Tail of Gloam, you can also teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see as part of that bonus action. Okay. This bard has got it's a little spicy. It's not like, I don't find it overly powerful, right? I don't find it like super strong, but it does some really interesting stuff. If you're looking for like a druidic bard, like a bard with a druid feel, this could be a vibe. But also, not using your bardic inspirations for this feature, super strong. We like that. We like not having to use our resources at higher levels if we don't have to. This is a vibe. Because it being a D6, it's weaker. So you could still use a bardic inspiration if you need to like hit a wide array of numbers, right? You could still expend that bardic inspiration. But if okay, we need to get a 2 or 3, let's go ahead and use the D6. We have a better chance of hitting that than with our D10. You see what I'm saying? This is a very interesting subclass. I dig it. And of course, bards having, you know, some druid flavor. I kind of dig it. I see where it's coming in. It doesn't overshadow druid as well, because druid is, I love new druid. But now that bards don't have access to rapiers and longswords anymore, I have always been concerned about like bards being able to be in the fight, but them getting access to Moonbeam, some really cool rider effects with healing, some extra skills, you know, it's speaking to me. I kind of dig it. How do you feel about making a full feature for one spell? Honestly, normally I'm against it. Because what ends up happening with, for example, I reviewed a good friend of mine. His name is Silent Soren, or Soren of Asgard. Soren almost single-handedly made a Final Fantasy XIV conversion for D&D 5e. Like by himself. Like, it was crazy. It was an amazing project, ambitious project. Dragoon is one of my favorite classes or jobs from the Final Fantasy series, right? And he had a subclass for Dragoon that relied heavily on the Dragon Breath spell, right? The problem with Dragon Breath is that the problem with it for the subclass was that the subclass relied very heavily on this spell for a martial class that didn't get spellcasting at all. It was just a thing that you could do. You could just cast Fire Breath on yourself, boom, and do stuff with it. The problem that I had with it was that it didn't synergize with the class. And a lot of times that's what ends up happening when you just make a spell your feature or your core feature of your subclasses or class, right? Here's what this does well. Moonbeam is a strong spell, period. Like Stars Druid and Guiding Bolt. See, that's the thing about it. Stars Druid and Guiding Bolt specifically, that's giving you an extra, that's icing on the cake for Stars Druid. Because Stars Druid already has a cracked kit. See what I'm saying? Your Starry form is cracked already. So you getting Guiding Bolts, just icing on the cake. And it also is a spell that druids don't get access to, right? So that's just icing on the cake. And I feel like in this instance, I was just about to bring up Fey Wanderer. Fey Wanderer and Misty Step, like this. It's a very, like, you see what I'm saying? It does it well. When the spell itself is good, you can get a little spicy with it. See, we're getting Moonbeam here, and of course it's at level 6, so that's a little late for me personally. But I understand why it's coming in at this point, because at level 6, we're already in tier 2 of gameplay, right? You getting this, also getting your Bardics back on short rests, and also it has rider effects attached to it. If it was just Moonbeam, it's not strong enough. The fact that you can cast Moonbeam on somebody, technically twice in one round. Technically twice, right? Because you can move Moonbeam as an action. So you bonus action cast Moonbeam, blast somebody, move it to his buddy over here, and somewhere in there you can expend a Bardic to give somebody extra healing. Well, you can already give someone 2d4 healing, but then you can expend a Bardic to juice that up a little bit too. That's a very cool feature. So me personally, normally I don't have a problem with it in this instance, but it causes me concern because it needs to be done well. All right, so let's move on to Knowledge Domain. I think Knowledge Domain was in the Player's Handbook 2014. I could be wrong about that, but it does come from 5th edition from the 2014 rule set. I know that much. Knowledge Domain: unearth secrets and master the mind. The Knowledge Domain values learning and understanding above all. Clerics who tap into this domain study esoteric lore, collect old tomes, delve into the secret places of the earth, and examine the process of the mind itself. Gods of knowledge vary from masters of arcane magic to patrons of craft and invention. To them, knowledge is more valuable than material wealth, and the desire to learn is an act of worship. Libraries, universities, and other institutions dedicated to education also draw on the power of the Knowledge Domain. On Faerun, clerics of the Knowledge Domain worship deities of learning and ingenuity like Agma and Gond. Other powerful deities such as Asmodeus, Mystra, Savras, and Jurgle also count clerics of the Knowledge Domain among their devotees, as do less common divinities like Denir, the scribe of Agma, and Azith, servant of Mystra. Okay, this is what I love. I love that if they're moving something from the old versions, they put a block here to show you how things just changed, like patch notes, design note, knowledge domain updates. Here are the main updates in the subclass since its appearance in the Player's Handbook 2014. What I say. Blessings of Knowledge now gives you proficiency with a type of Artisan's Tools. Let's go. I like it. Knowledge domain spells have been updated to include more damaging and combat relevant options. The number of spells has also increased because, of course, you're getting it at 3rd level, right? Mind Magic is a new feature that allows you to expend a use of Channel Divinity to cast one of your domain spells without expending a spell slot. Come on in here. Don't make me expend all my juice to do things that I should just be able to do, okay? Like, help me out here. Unfettered Mind is a new feature that grants you telepathy and consistent intelligence checks. I'm locked in already. Knowledge Domain is kind of hidden because to me, Knowledge Domain was kind of mid. Like, it was not good to me in the old version, but I'm already locked in with this one. And Divine Foreknowledge is a new feature that allows you to gain advantage on D20 tests for 1 hour. I'm locked in. Let's see. Y'all know how I felt about 2014's Cleric. I thought it was the strongest class if you knew how to use it. I thought the Cleric was nothing could compare to Cleric's power to me. Level 3, Blessings of Knowledge. You gain proficiency with 1 type of artisan's tools of your choice and in 2 of the following skills of your choice: Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion. You have expertise in those 2 skills. Very similar to how it used to be, but getting artisan's tools makes sense to me. Level 3, Knowledge Domain spells. When you reach a Cleric level specified, okay, we know how domain spells work. Let's see what we're getting. Command, Comprehend Languages, Detect Magic, Detect Thoughts, Identify, and Mind Spike. Mind Spike is a good one for them. Okay. I dig these. There's a lot of utility here in this spell list. A lot of utility here at level 3. And then, you know, burn their mind if you want to as well. This is good. This is good stuff. Let's skip that. Level 5, Dispel Magic, Non-Detection, and Tongues. Again, I think that these are very, very good spells for Knowledge Domain. Arcane Eye, Banishment, Confusion at level 7. Okay. I'm trying to see the logic here with Banishment, but I don't, it's all right. I think it's a good spell to have regardless. Level 9, Legend Lore, gotta have it. Got to have it. Scrying and Synaptic Static. Legend Lore and Scrying are literally the perfect spells for Knowledge Domain. And since we're going with kind of like a little bit of psionics here with Knowledge Domain, with things like Detect Thoughts and, you know, Confusion, Synaptic Static, like, I'm digging this. Like, this is a good spell list. A-, you know, I could take A- on the spell list. Yeah, this is good. I like this. Mind Magic. As a magic action, you can expend 1 use of your Channel Divinity to manifest your magical knowledge. Choose 1 spell from the Knowledge Domain spell table that you have prepared. As part of that action, you can cast that spell without expending a spell slot or needing material components. That for Legend Lore is fucking incredible. For Legend Lore and Scrying, that's amazing. No material components. I think those are pretty expensive spells. But also being able to hit somebody with a Mind Spike without, you know, a spell slot if necessary. You know, if you don't have the time to get off, you know, preparations, you know, to ritual cast, identify, or detect magic and stuff like that, this could come in handy. You know, if for really clutch moments like that. There's some good stuff here, man. I'm digging the synergy already. And also, anytime if the spell list is good enough, if I don't have to expend a spell slot to do it, I can totally do that. And it's a Channel Divinity too. You see what I'm saying? That's a good Channel Divinity to have. Just giving you more access. Emergency Identify. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Channel Divinity. And of course, you're getting, it's your Channel Divinity too. You get this back on short rest. Short rest. I'm saying this is a good feature. Sometimes you don't have to make gaudy features. Sometimes you can just lock in and use what you got, right? Level 6, Unfettered Mind. You gain telepathy. You gain telepathy out to 60 feet. When you use this telepathy, you can simultaneously contact a number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier. Additionally, if your total for an intelligence check is lower than your wisdom score, you can use that score in place of the total. Rary's telepathic bond. It's giving telepathic bond. I think telepathic bond is a little stronger because it connects everybody. Think McGann from Young Justice. Like, you connect everybody telepathically. Not that you could just connect to everybody telepathically. Does that make sense? But it's a watered down kind of filtered version of telepathic bond, but that's really strong. And plus this feature alone, like this feature, this here alone, hey, if your total for an intelligence check is lower than your wisdom score, you can use that score in place of the total. If you have a maxed out wisdom, if you have a 20 wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna roll the d20. Yeah, I got a 19 total, so I'm just gonna take my wisdom score. You see what I'm saying? That's cracked. I love that. That's better than what Wizards got going on. I think Wizards get like expertise and shit. This is crazy. Level 17, Divine Foreknowledge. As a bonus action, this is our capstone, by the way. As a bonus action, you magically expand your mind to the possibilities of the future. For 1 hour, you have advantage on D20 tests. That's so many different types of things. That's so many. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore your use of this feature by expending a spell slot of 6 or higher. No action required. I adore this subclass. I don't know if it's something that I would play, but it's very much, I don't know, this is giving. Like, D20 tests are like everything. For an hour, that's crazy. That's cracked. OP in a class setting. Oh, you mean like Hillard? I mean, it's your capstone. It's a capstone feature, so it's strong. But I think that this is amazing. I love this. What an awesome change to how kind of lackluster it used to be. Knowledge used to be very lackluster in my opinion. It was still usable because Cleric is usable. But they definitely put some stank on this one. Here we go. Hey, it's time. It's time, y'all. Purple Dragon Knight Fighter. It's Purple Dragon Knight time. Hey, let me tell y'all something about Purple Dragon Knight. Purple Dragon Knight was hurting. It was rough out here for Purple Dragon Knight. PDK had it rough. No one chose PDK. No one ever in life. Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide had it rough. Because I think Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide had this in it. I think the first time we saw Bladesinger was in that too. And then there was our the subclass that had like the spiky armor type thing. I don't remember what that was called. But anyways, let's try it. Herald the Majesty of Amethyst Dragons. The Purple Dragon Knights are paragons of valor and leadership who partner with Amethyst Dragons. Such knights aspire to protect the innocent and rally fellow adventurers to the cause of justice and freedom. Although the Purple Dragons were originally founded in Cormyr, new recruits are enlisted from any realms where chivalry is in abundance, including the Silver Marches, Damara, and Chisenta. Characters with this subclass are special among the Order. Unlike most Purple Dragons, who partner with Amethyst Dragons, who've already reached adulthood, a Purple Dragon Knight character psionically bonds with an Amethyst Dragon hatchling. This bond irrevocably transforms both dragon and knight, allowing the dragon to grow in strength alongside its partner knight. Hold the fuck on. Hold on. Hold on. Do we have like Drake Warden for fighter? Hold on. Hold on. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Let's see how it's changed in Sword Coast. Knightly Envoy, formerly Royal Envoy, has been moved to level 3. It now lets you learn an additional language and cast the Comprehend Languages spell as a ritual. Love fighters getting spellcasting. That's not just throwing spell slots at them. Purple Dragon Companion. A new feature that gives the Purple Dragon Knight a Dragon Companion. I hate gem dragons. I hate them so much, but I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm so hyped. Dragon Rider is a new feature that improves the Dragon Companion, allowing you to heal it with your second wind and ride it in a limited capacity. Oh my god. Oh my, actually dragon riding. Actually dragon riding. Okay, all right. Rallying Surge, formerly Inspiring Surge, now lets you choose up to 3 creatures within a more limited radius. It also gives chosen creatures a retreat option. Amethyst Pinnacle is a new feature that again improves your Dragon Companion, allowing you to ride it unrestricted and attack in tandem. Enduring Commander is a new feature that grants both you and your Dragon Companion resistances. Oh my god. I'm already hyped. Level 3 Knightly Envoy. You learn one language of your choice, which you can learn from the languages table in the player's handbook. Additionally, you can cast the Comprehend Languages spell, but only as a ritual. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability for it. Purple Dragon Companion. You are bonded with an Amethyst Dragon hatchling that serves as your Purple Dragon Companion and uses the Purple Dragon Companion stat block. So we need to so my Pegasus Knight needs a makeover, is what I'm hearing. The Purple Dragon is friendly to you and your allies and obeys your commands. The Dragon in combat. In combat, the dragon acts during your turn. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus action to command it to take an action that's in its stat block or some other action. If you have the incapacitated condition, the dragon acts on its own and isn't limited to the dodge action. Resurrecting the Dragon. If the Dragon Companion has died within the last hour, you can take a magic action to touch the dragon and expend your second wind. The dragon returns to life after 1 minute with all its hit points restored. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about second wind now. Second wind is absolutely fantastic. Second wind is crazy now. I love second wind. Otherwise, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to resurrect the dragon. This ceremony can be performed as part of a short or long rest. Purple Dragon Companion, let's take a look at it. AC is 13 plus intelligence. HP is 4 plus 4 times your fighter level. The dragon has a number of hit dice, D6s. Okay, so it's small. 30 feet. It has a fly speed and a swim speed. I love this. Decent strength. Okay. It is proficient in the same saves as a fighter, strength and dex. Decent con. Okay. It's got an 8 intelligence too, so it's very smart. Dark vision, 60 feet. Understands the languages you know and has telepathy out to 30 feet. No CR clearly because it's a companion. Can breathe both air and water. Water campaign, ocean, under ocean campaigns are starting to seem real viable for me now. Like, let me set up my archipelago swashbuckling campaign. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming, dude. Like it's I'm getting there. Cause Circle of the Sea, there's a lot of ways that you can breathe underwater now. Underwater campaigns really are kind of speaking to me now. Giant Archipelago. Did you Pillars of Eternity 2 for D&D? It's kind of speaking to me. That's all I'm saying. Stalwart Bond. Add half your proficiency bonus round down to any ability check or saving throw the dragon makes. Already, companions are so good now because of these types of features. Its actions has a rend attack +3 plus your 3 plus your intelligence modifier, 5-foot reach, 1d6 plus your intelligence modifier, and force damage. And gravity breath. Con save, 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence. Okay, so essentially a spell save DC for you. You know what I'm saying? Each creature in a 15-foot cone on a failure, the target is pulled up to 15 feet straight toward the dragon or pushed 15 feet away from the dragon. Your choice. Love it. Force movement is so good. Level 7, Dragon Rider. You and your purple dragon gain the following benefits. Knock our other Dragon Rider off their dragon. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Dragon Mount. The dragon grows to medium size. You can use the dragon as a mount if you are medium or smaller. But while you're riding it, the dragon falls at the end of a turn if it's airborne. And the only thing holding it aloft is its fly speed, so it can't hover. It takes you only 5 feet of movement to mount or dismount this dragon. Okay. Improved Gravity Breath. The dragon's Gravity Breath becomes a 30-foot cone. When a creature fails its saving throw against Gravity Breath, it takes 2d6 force damage. See, originally, it did no damage, but now it does 2d6 force and the movement. Shared Second Wind. When you use your second wind to regain hit points, the dragon also regains hit points equal to 1d6 plus your fighter level, and it regains 1 use of its Gravity Breath. How many times can it do it? Twice a day. Interesting. Okay, and again, fighters get multiple second wind, so you can keep refreshing this. Level 10 Rallying Surge. When you use your action surge, you can choose up to 3 allies within a 30-foot emanation originating from you. Each ally can take a reaction to use one of the following options. Advance. The ally makes 1 attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike. If your purple dragon is one of the allies using advance, the dragon can make 1 rend attack. I love that. That's so good. Retreat. The ally moves up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. This costs your reaction, but honestly, this is some good stuff right here. This is good. Advance and retreat, I'm feeling it. I'm totally feeling it. And the fact that they get to choose this and you don't have to tell them what to do is awesome. In level 10, I don't hate this. Level 15, Amethyst Pinnacle. You and your purple dragon gain the following benefits. Superior Mount. The purple dragon grows to large size, and both its speed and its fly speed increase to 40 feet. Additionally, the dragon no longer falls at the end of a turn if airborne while you're riding it. Tandem Attack. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can forgo one of your attacks to command the dragon to make 1 rend attack. Alternatively, you can forgo 2 of your attacks to command the dragon to use Gravity Breath. Mind you, you're a fighter. If you're this far along, you have 3 attacks. Level 18, Capstone, Enduring Commander. You and your purple dragon have resistance to force and psychic damage. Honestly, this is, to me, a little late to be getting this. I don't care. This subclass is cracked. Is this a weaker capstone? Sure, but look at the rest of the damn subclass. They should just rename the class to Dragon Knight and have different kinds of dragon companions to choose from. The entire class is otherwise just lore death. I don't know. I don't know if I agree. Purple Dragon Knight needed this. You see what I'm saying? Purple Dragon Knight needed this love. Purple Dragon Knight was one of the worst subclasses of 2014 5th edition. One of the worst by far. And I think it shows that I think it shows that they are listening to a degree. If we could just get this type of love for Ranger, we'd be in a good spot. Purple dragon equals soldier in Cormier. Everyone gets an adult amethyst dragon. Sure. No, that's not what it doesn't say that about the subclass though. It doesn't say that. It says you're special. They're hatchlings in this one. Yeah, they are hatchlings. In this version, it says that you're a special one. Yeah, but it also says so about purple dragons, the general soldiers. It says that they partner with them. Like, even still, like, what's the difference between this and the gift? Just riding red dragons whenever the fuck they want. You see what I'm saying? Like, red dragons being the strongest chromatic dragon, they just ride them as fucking pets. You see what I'm saying? Is it lore death? It's almost like the Forgotten Realms is bullshit. I'm sorry. That's mean. It's almost like the Forgotten Realms does whatever the fuck it wants. See what I'm saying? Like, if I'm crazy, I'm crazy. It's almost like the Forgotten Realms doesn't care and does whatever it wants to tell a story. Just make it a Dragon Knight. Can use it for gifts and other knights instead of making it the Purple Dragon Knights. You can do that at your own table. You can do that. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. But Purple Dragon Knight specifically needed this. Purple Dragon Knight needed a rewrite. My issue is that this makes Beastmaster and Drake Warden garbage. That's what my issue is. Because if Drake Warden was this strong, you see what I'm saying? What if Drake Warden was this? See, oh, it's lore death. What about Beastmaster and Drake Warden? Who gives a damn about the lore? It's not even in. It's in Greyhawk now. We're not even in Faerun anymore. Mundane issues, first world problems for D&D. This makes Beastmaster and Drake Warden look like Weenie Hut Jr. I hard agree with that. So this is the one that I'm personally looking forward to. Y'all know how I like Genies. So we're going to move on to Oath of the Noble Genies, Paladin. Brandish the elemental splendor of Genies. Paladins sworn to the Oath of the Noble Genies revere the forces of the elemental plane. Through taking this oath, Paladins draw power from the 4 different types of Genies. Dao, Masters of Earth. Jinn, Masters of Air. Finally, they just called them Jinn. Jesus Christ, I hated that they were Jinny. They're Jinn. Let them be Jinn. And also, they got rid of Ifriti. Ifrit, Masters of Far. Masters of Fire. And Marids, Masters of Water. To create splendid and destructive displays of elemental might. Also, question for Wizards of the Coast. Please tell me you changed them in the new monster manual to not to where all genies are fucking slavers. Help me out here. Please, do me a solid. Do me a solid, Wizards of the Coast. If you see this, I know you're probably already printing out the books, but maybe, just maybe, make it to where the lore based on brown people's histories and religion doesn't equate to them being fucking slavers. Can you do that for me? Anyway, moving on. To create splendid and destructive displays of elemental might. On Faerun, many paladins who swear this oath hail from Kalimshan, a land rife with genie kind. Despite their strong local ties, these Kalashite paladins often undertake quests that take them all over the realm and across the multiverse, including, naturally, the elemental planes. These paladins share the following tenets: beget creation with destruction. Ooh, that's hard. That's hard. Yeah, if your GM says, oh, you have to be from Cormier to play this class, you just smoke bomb and run away. Honestly, I felt the same way about Bladesinger, and so did y'all too. You have to be an elf to be a Bladesinger? Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, lead with splendor and grace. Respect the elements and fear their wrath. These tenets are hard. These tenets are hard. Level 3, Elemental Smite. Oh, thank goodness. Immediately after you cast Divine Smite, you can expend one of your channel divinity and invoke one of the following effects. Dow's Crush. The target has the grappled condition. Escape DC equal to your spell save. While grappled, the target has the restrained condition. Oh my god, that's so good. Beating the hell out of them. Genies Escape. Oh, never mind. It is Jenny and Ifriti. Anyway, you teleport to an unoccupied space. That might be a typo. They might need to fix that. You teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of yourself and take on a mist-like form, which lasts until the end of your next turn. While in this form, you have immunity to the grappled, prone, and restrained conditions. Ifriti's Fury. The target takes an extra 2d4 fire damage. Marid's Surge. The target and each creature of your choice in a 10-foot emanation originating from you makes a strength saving throw. Against your spell save DC, on a failed save, the creature is pushed 15 feet away from you and has the prone condition. This is the same effect as the Circle of the Sea Druid, I believe. Yeah. I was. You're getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me. So let me tell you something about this. Mind you, this is when you Divine Smite somebody. You cast a Divine Smite. You are smiting them with the power of God in anime, right? Doing that. You also have weapon masteries. These also cause other rider effects on top of this shit. Martial classes are eating good. You hear me? Martial classes are eating deliciously. This is good. This is a good feature. Of course, you're using your Divine Smite, your Channel Divinity and your Divine Smite on this. But I think Paladins finally get multiple Channel Divinities now as well, which is good for them. Level 3 we're also getting Genie spells. First Divine Smite is free. That is true. We're getting spells, okay? Chromatic Orb, Elementalism, Thunderous Smite. Yes, indeed. Yes. I love spellcasting paladins. I really do. Mirror Image, Phantasmal Force. This paladin is kind of beefy. This paladin's got some cool shit going on. In gaseous form. And fly at level 9. Conjure minor elementals and summon elemental. So let me tell you something about the conjure spells, right? Let me tell you something about the conjure spells. They are auras now, right? They're auras. Concentration of 10 minutes is an action. You conjure spirits from the elemental planes that flit around you in a 15-foot emanation for the duration. Until the spell ends, any attack you make deals an extra 2d8 damage when you hit a creature in the emanation. The damage is acid, cold, fire, or lightning, your choice when you make the attack. In addition, the ground in the emanation is difficult terrain for your enemies. More damage. I love the conjure spells now. They actually don't make my ass itch. It's crazy. Plus summon elemental too. Why not? Hell. Banishing Smite and Contact Other Plane. This spell list is so thematic. Like, not a single spell here, in my opinion, is not on point here. Mirror Image is a great spell for paladins to get to. It really is. Yeah, it scales insanely. Yes. Like this is a good spell list. Level 3. Oh, hold on. We're getting 3 features at level 3. Whoops. Level 3 Genies Splendor. When you aren't wearing medium or heavy armor, you gain a bonus to your AC equal to your charisma modifier. Minimum of 1. Excuse me. It's so thematic too, though, because it's Kalimshan. They're not wearing all this bulky ass armor. They're wearing cloths and shit. We're finally getting Dex Paladins, y'all. It's finally happened. We finally got Dex Paladins. It makes sense though, because in Kalimshan, they're not wearing all this heavy ass, hot ass armor. They're wearing cloth, leathers. That makes sense. This is thematic. Scimitars, baby. Give them the scimitar. Get your skizzes. Get your scimitars. Absolutely. They're not wearing all this heavy ass armor. These big bulky swords. Give them a saber. Give them a khopesh. Give them a scimitar. This is the vibe. Mind you, when you aren't wearing medium or heavy, so you could still be wearing studded leather, 13 plus dex, plus your charisma modifier. Scimitars with the nick proper. I'm telling. So, first of all, Paladin normally rewards you for using big, heavy, chungus weapons, right? Shield mastery, scimitar. With your weapon masteries, plus summoning, plus conjure, mirror image, phantasmal force. This is a vibe. I'm playing this. I am absolutely playing this. This is hot. This is hard, B. Makes casty paladins more viable. Makes cast heavy paladins more viable. Also, you're not investing in so many stats, right? Because that's another thing with paladins. It's like you got to have your strength. If you're not wearing heavy armor, you got to have some dex. You got to have your con and charisma going good to be paladin. Honestly, it does fit in my archipelago game. Oh. You also gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: acrobatics, intimidation, performance, or persuasion. Let me be my Blade Dancer Genie Paladin, baby. Blade Dancer Genie Paladin speaks to me on a spiritual level. Blade dancing like Genie Paladin. Let me do it. Who's gonna let me play it at their table? Don't all volunteer at once, damn it. Who's gonna let me play it at your table? She's gonna be a bad bitch too. Who gonna let me do it? Level 7 Aura of Elemental Shielding. Fuse one of the following damage types: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. You and your allies have resistance to that damage type while in your aura of protection. At the start of each of your turns, you can change the damage type. No action required. Oh, this is good stuff, y'all. This is good stuff. Honestly, Icewind Dale kind of seeming a little bit paladin-y over here, baby. This kind of hard. This kind of hot, though. Level 15, Elemental Rebuke. When you are hit by an attack, you can take a reaction to halve the attack's damage against yourself, round down, and force the attacker to make a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the attacker takes damage equal to 4d10 plus your charisma modifier. The damage is one of the following types, your choice: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. On a successful save, the attacker takes half as much damage. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Honestly, this paladin is cracked. Like, I love this. No, I don't think it's mid. I think at level 15, right? Think about what's happening. Because again, if y'all have seen the new monster manual, these monsters are not fucking around. So if you are hit, you're smacking somebody with 4d10 plus charisma on a reaction. It's all right. It's okay. I think it's a little bit over mid, a little bit above mid. It's okay. In level 20, our capstone, Noble Scion. As a bonus action, you gain the benefits below for 10 minutes, or until you end them, no action required. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore your use of it by expending a level 5 slot, no action required. Flight. You have a fly speed of 60 feet and can hover. Minor wish. Hold on. Please. When you or an ally in your aura protection fails a D20 test, you can take a reaction to make the D20 test succeed instead. There's no limit on that. There's no limit on that. Legendary resistance on aura is insane. There's no limit here. It's level 20. It's level 20. It's a level 20 feature. I don't know if it's busted, but plus flying and hovering. Okay? So that means you're immune to things that ground you. Plus paladin saves. Yes. Yes. Plus paladin base saves. So the paladin is going to barely fail things anyway. When you or an ally in your aura fails a D20 test, no, I'm good. See, that's the thing about it. I don't think, see, for me, if I'm this paladin, right, I am hovering above my folks, my peoples, and like I'm literally 1v1ing whatever the fuck, right? I'm not trying to fly too far from nothing. But I get what you're saying. You could get out of the aura, but the aura by this point is upgraded. The aura is bigger at this point. I think it goes from, what is it? I think it starts at 15 and increases to 30. That's pretty decent. Heaven forbid you're enlarged. Think about the area that you're taking up. I mean, this is decent. I gotta say, this is such a fun paladin. First of all, bringing Calamshan, into this, because we spent so much fucking time in the Sword Coast in 5e. It drove me nuts, right? But that being said, bringing up Calamshan, making Dex Paladins, giving us viability for casting strong spells. There's some good stuff in here, man. The spell list is on point. This feature is absolutely, please reward people for not just optimizing the game. Please reward people for not just putting on full plate as a paladin. You know what I'm saying? That's not all paladins are, or should be, in my opinion. Like, there's some good stuff in here, y'all. I love this. I absolutely love this. I can't, honestly, out of everything that I've seen so far, I can't wait to play this one. There are some really good light armors in the game. See, the first thing that I thought about it's called Genie Splendor, is this ability, right? The first thing I thought about was glamored studded leather. That's exactly what this paladin wears in my eyes. Just changing your outfit to be glamorous whenever you want. Like, I wrote a feature like this before, like something similar. Imagine this with Incarnate. Yes, I'm thinking about them. Yes. This is, and for my people in here that are working on a specific project that I will not say anything about, this is the bar. This is the bar, by the way. Like I wrote a feature like this before where it was a Genie Warlock invocation, Genie Warlock specific invocation, where everything that you put on as this Genie Warlock was immediately glamorous. Immediately. You got a bonus to your AC for whatever you had on. It could be clothes, it could be armor, whatever. It immediately turned luxurious and gave you better checks with people because they think you're so goddamn rich, right? Okay, anyway. But this is like, when I play a Genie, when I do anything with Genies, I am gaudy, I am wealthy, I am in my bag when I play things that involve Genies. I'm hoping and praying and wishing that they got rid of all Genies being goddamn slavers. I need that. My first thought was the Deathwalker's Ward from Critical Role Tal'Dorei campaign setting Reborn. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch. Yes, indeed. That is the vibe here when I play Genies. Or Genie Kin or anything like that. Winter Walker, Ranger. Oh, poor Ranger. Let's just have a moment of silence for Ranger real quick, y'all. Because there's no subclass that can make Ranger... Anyway. We all do, John. We all do. I'm so sorry, Sonny. Withstand the horrors of frigid wastelands. Winter walkers hone their craft in the bleak and frozen wilds of places like Icewind Dale. Rhymed with ice, these ruthless rangers hunt the monsters that haunt Arctic wastelands, eventually becoming frigid terrors themselves. More so than any other rangers of Icewind Dale, Winter walkers are known to be well versed in the paranormal phenomena specific to the realm, including the latent magic of fallen Netherese cities, endemic monsters like Yetis and crag cats. Oh, I love crag cats. And the rising threat of the Underdark invaders. In exchange for their cold pragmatism, terrifying magic, and mastery of the region, these Winter walkers are regarded with equal parts respect and fear. 10 town citizens say that it is Winter walkers' frequent exposure to malignant entities that gives them their fearsome powers. Many regid nomads, on the other hand, believe that nature spirits bestow Winter walkers with a unique curse. They're so afraid to make rangers good. Hey, I'm getting ready to play in Icewind Dale myself. I can't wait. I've played like 2 sessions of Icewind Dale and I was like, I want to play more of it. But that game fell apart quick as it came. Let me tell y'all something. If you've never done an actual play before, if you've never run an actual play before, do some research before you do it. That's my advice. Okay. Anyway, level 3, Frigid Explorer. You gain the following benefits. Frost resistance. You have resistance to cold damage. Polar strikes. When you hit a creature with a weapon, you can deal an extra 1d4 cold damage to the target, which can take this damage only once per turn. This extra damage ignores resistance to cold damage. Holy shit. When you reach Ranger level 11, this damage increases to 1d6. So, keeping up with normal Ranger themes of adding dice to rolls, sure. I think it needs to scale again, but I'll take it. Hunter's Rhyme. Ice rhymes you and your prey, protecting you and slowing them. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your Ranger level. Additionally, while a creature is marked by your Hunter's Mark, you can't take the disengage action. Why? Why am I... It can't take the disengage action. Oh my god. How many monsters are disengaged? Are disengaging. But, I mean, like, maybe the bad guy, the big bad, can't get away. Guarantee those opportunity attacks? Sure. Ugh, I don't know. I don't fucking know, dude. I would love this if... Okay. I would love this for one reason. Y'all know, if you've been on my stream before, you know how I believe Ranger would get fixed. Ranger is fixed by making Hunter and Beastmasters core features of the class. They should not be subclasses. You should be choosing things like Colossus Slayer or Horde Breaker, as well as having your animal buddy. That's how you fix Ranger, right? If this was the subclass, right? If you got this subclass while having those features, while also having your direwolf or your snow wolf, probably in this case, in the guide you've marked face, and they can't disengage from your wolf or whatever, that's a good feature. That's strong. That's good. This is mid. This is mid. Anyway, level 3 Winter Walker spells. When you reach Ranger level specified and you have these spells prepared. Ice Knife, good spell, bad on Ranger. Pass Without Trace, good spell. They should just have this. Remove Curse, mid for Ranger. Ice Storm, good spell. Who cares about it on Ranger? And Cone of Cold, amazing spell. Who cares about it on Ranger? Who cares about it on Ranger? This is an amazing spell, but who cares about it for Ranger? Anyway, Fortifying Soul. Your experience surviving harrowing environments allows you to bolster your allies in addition to yourself. When you finish a short rest, you can choose a number of creatures you can see equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of 1. A chosen creature regains hit points equal to 1d10 plus your Ranger level and has advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the frightened condition for an hour. Hold on, when you finish a short rest. Hit points equal to 1d10 plus your Ranger level, and it has advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the frightened condition for 1 hour. Once you use this feature... Oh my god, this is awful. Like, this is terrible. A weak-ass Song of Rest and advantage on Frightened for an hour? That's terrible. At level 7? I mean, all right. This is an awful feature for them. Chilling Retribution. Level 11. When a creature hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to force the creature to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the target has the frightened condition until the end of your next turn. While frightened, the target speed is reduced to 0. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. I mean, again, sure. It's all right, but that's just it, though. It's all right. Level 15, Frozen Haunt. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you can adopt a ghostly, snowy form. This form lasts until the spell ends, and while you are in this form, you gain the following benefits. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest unless you expend a fourth level or higher spell slot. Frozen Soul, you have immunity to cold damage. When you first adopt this form, and at the start of each of your subsequent turns, a creature of your choice within 15-foot emanation originating from you takes 2d4 cold damage. It's not strong enough, dude. Partially incorporeal. You have immunity to the grappled, prone, and restrained conditions. You can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside a creature or an object. If the form ends while you are inside a creature or an object, you are shunted to the nearest. Why isn't this the core feature? Why? This should just be the core feature. We should have got this at 3. Not the whole bit. Not the whole bit. This should be. You should be an ice wraith. You should be an ice ghosty person, right? This should be the Junt right here. This should be level 3. And why is it on Hunter's Mark? See, that's what I'm talking about. We talked about this earlier in the stream, right? Where basing things around a spell, right? My problem with Hunter's Mark is that Wizards wants us to Wizards want us to worship Hunter's Mark. But Hunter's Mark is not good enough. Hunter's Mark is not good enough. Did I pass it? I must have. $287. You magically mark one creature you can see within range as your quarry. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 force damage to the target whenever you hit it with an attack roll. You also have advantage on any wisdom, perception, or survival checks you make to find it. If your target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can take a bonus action to move the mark to a new creature you can see within range. Using a higher level spell slot, your concentration can last longer with a spell slot of 3 to 4 up to 8 hours and 20. Who cares, dude? Who cares? This is mid. This is not good enough. This is not strong enough. I don't care if I can cast it for free. It's not good enough. See, that's what I'm saying. Stop worrying about Hunter's Mark. The way you fix Ranger is you give them the features, or most of the features, from Hunter. They should be choosing different ways that their Ranger is that guy, and have a Beast Companion that's getting stronger as the class chassis goes up. Then these subclasses make sense. Then these subclasses are okay. Then we'll talk about Hunter's Mark. Honestly, I don't like the Hunter's Mark as a spell. I don't think it should be. I don't think Hunter's Mark should be a spell. I don't think that it should require concentration. I'm tired of their worship of Hunter's Mark. This is not good enough, dude. This is lame. This is awful. Everything in here has kind of been okay, on point, or awesome. This here, terrible. Absolute dog water. I really think that they're going to get rid of Ranger, y'all. I really think that they're going to get rid of Ranger. Like, Rangers do notoriously wait to come to level 15 to come online. I'm tired of it, though. It's awful. It's actually terrible. Scion of the Three, Rogue. I'm so mad. Become a gruesome agent of malice. Maybe this will change me around. Maybe this will fix me. A Scion of the Three draws power from a group of malevolent gods known as the Dead Three. Bane, deity of tyranny. Baal, deity of violence and murder. And Merkel, deity of death. While some rogues of the subclass pledge themselves ardently to those three macabre gods, others find themselves thrust on this path by a curse. Either way, a Scion's power manifests as various occult gifts, as well as an uncanny talent for striking. I'm gonna zoom this in a little bit more. Striking and terrifying foes. Scions of the Three are most common in Baldur's Gate, where the Dead Three have long competed for influence over mortal hearts. Underground cults to Bane, Baal, and Merkel often count Scions of the Three among their most useful agents. Outside Baldur's Gate, secular cults, thieves guilds such as the Shadow Thieves of Amn or Xanathar's Guild in Waterdeep might cautiously call on Scions of the Three to undertake an especially violent contract. Yeah, the Bony Boys. Thanks, Jurgle. Anyway, level 3 Bloodthirst. If your sneak attack hits a bloodied creature, the target takes an extra damage of the weapon's type equal to half your rogue level, rounded up. In addition, when an enemy you can see is reduced to 0 hit points, you can take a reaction and teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 30 feet of yourself. You can then make one melee attack. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. That's an execute ability. That's an execute ability. What? This makes Assassin look like Weenie Hut Jr. First of all, the fact that the bloody condition actually exists. Yes, indeed. It's an assassinate ability. It's an execute ability. Yes. Yes, it is. Level 3, Dread Allegiance. Choose one of the Dead Three, Bane, Baal, or Merkel. You gain resistance to one type of damage and the ability to cast a cantrip as detailed in the table below. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability for this cantrip. When you finish a long rest, you can change your choice. Bane, damage resistance is psychic, and you get minor illusion. Great cantrip for rogues. Amazing cantrip for rogues. Baal, poison, and Blade Ward. Blade Ward is, I think Blade Ward got fixed, so okay. Resistance on a rogue is very rare. The only one that I can think of off the top of my head that had resistances was the Phantom. And that was its capstone feature. It got resistance to damage because it was like ghosty or whatever, right? Merkel, necrotic damage resistance, and chill touch. Interesting cantrips for a rogue. Honestly, it is neither chill nor touch. I think it is now, though. I think it is. I think they finally fixed that. Well, I don't think it's chill, but I think they did fix it, though. It is touch now, I believe. Channeling the Chill of the Grave. Make a melee spell attack against a creature, a target within reach. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 necrotic damage and it can't regain hit points until the end of your next turn. It is now a touch spell. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's doing 1d10 necrotic. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they increased the damage of it. Chill touch is kind of cracked now. Okay, so Merkel You know, we can work with Merkel sometimes. Sometimes we can work with Merkel. We can work with Merkel sometimes. You feel me? Okay. Level 9, Strike Fear. I do still hate that we're not getting subclass features from 3 to 9. That is such a huge gap to me. You gain the following Cunning Strike option. Cunning Strike is awesome. I do like the Cunning Strike feature. Terrify, costs 1d6. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw, or it has the Frightened condition for 1 minute. The frightened target repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Fair. It's fitting. It's not too strong, not too weak. It's fitting for what we're going for here. Level 13, Aura of Malevolence, excuse me. You radiate a malignant power associated with one of the dead 3 at the start of each of your turns. Each creature of your choice within a 10-foot emanation originating from you takes damage equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1. The damage type is the same as the damage resistance granted by your choice in the Dread Allegiance feature. Psychics seeming real spicy right now. Within a 10-foot emanation originating from you. The damage dealt by this aura ignores resistance. Never mind. Never mind. Poison and necrotic looking kind of spicy right now. The aura is inactive while you have the incapacitated condition. My sweet God. Yeah, but I think Magic Initiate allows you to change out what you're getting. So you could have Magic Initiate coming up and then take level 3. You could have Magic Initiate for your background feat, your origin feat, excuse me, and then at level 3 change it out for something else. Because again, you're changing this out whenever you need to, right? Because if you're going up against Mind Flayers, you're not going to want this. You know, you're going to want this, but you're not really doing that extra damage against a Mind Flayer. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want the, you know, like this is, having Psychic is so strong. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm taking Minor Illusion because I'm taking Minor Illusion. It's level 17, Capstone, Dread Incarnate. You gain the following benefits. Battle Tyrant. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature with a frightened condition. Murderous Intent. When you roll for your sneak attack damage, you count a 1 or 2 on the die as 3. Capstone free Savage Attacker? What the fuck? What? Oh my God. Mind you, we do have an execute ability over here. Anytime they're bloodied, they're taking extra damage equal to half your rogue level. That's so much damage. I see the dagger builds now. I see the dagger builds in my head now. Okay. Hey, it's decent. I just don't see how these subclasses were made right next to the Ranger class. Oh, I feel you, bro. I feel you, fam. Damn. Spellfire Sorcery. We're getting toward the end of this now. Radiate raw magic potential. Your innate power stems from the source of magic itself, the weave. This connection manifests as a rare ability known as Spellfire, and you surge with radiant bursts of this raw magic. Your talent with Spellfire allows you to heal allies, sear enemies, and absorb powerful spells. Wielders of Spellfire tend to be adventurous souls with penchants for wandering. Many travel between cosmopolitan settlements, such as those along the Sword Coast, and wield their magic in service of the common good. Others prioritize the realization of their own strange powers by roaming equally strange lands. From the magic blasted wastes of the Anarok Desert to the god-touched wilds of the old empires. Wherever they go in the realms, Spellfire Sorcerers are often courted by factions with interest in the arcane arts, such as the Harpers and the Cult of the Dragon. Level 3, Spellfire Bursts. When you spend at least one sorcery point as part of the magic action or bonus action on your turn, you can unleash one of the following magical effects of your choice. You can do so only once per turn. Bolstering Flames. You or one creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself gains temporary hit points equal to 1d4 plus your charisma modifier. Meh. Radiant Fire. One creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself must succeed on a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC or take 1d6 fire or radiant damage, your choice. Interesting for a sorcerer to get this. There's a lot of things that they can do that expend sorcery points as a magic action or bonus action now. So this just being a rider effect to casting spells using meta magic, that's interesting, but I don't know if it's strong enough. We'll have to see as it goes up. Level 3 Spellfire spells. Okay, getting some extra spells here. Cure Wounds. Sorcerers with Cure Wounds. Twin Spell Cure Wounds. 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. Mind you, just want to remind you of that. 2d8 additionally at upcasting. A level 2 Cure Wounds does as much healing as Mass Cure Wounds in 2014. Guiding Bolt, Lesser Res, Scorching Ray. Level 3 is cracked. Level 5, Aura of Vitality and Dispel Magic. 7, Fire Shield and Wall of Fire. 9, Greater Res and Flame Strike. This is an A+ spell list for sorcerers. A+. Sensational spell list for sorcerers. And of course, sorcerers with Cure Wounds, just fantastic. Here's what you do. Your origin feat is Magic Initiate, right? You take whatever cantrips you want and find Familiar. You can have your Familiar deliver spells for you, right? Cure Wounds. Twin cast on yourself or somebody else, and then your Familiar delivers the other one to whoever needs it. You see what I'm saying? Like, not super strong, but very useful. Level 6, Absorb Spells. You always have Counterspell prepared. You always have Counterspell prepared. It didn't say that you learn it. It didn't say that you learn it. It just said that you always have it prepared. You don't even need to check. You don't even need to take the spell. They're just giving you Counterspell. Level 6. Additionally, whenever a target fails the saving throw against Counterspell, you regain 1d4 sorcery points. Don't get me wrong. Counterspell is weaker than it used to be. Counterspell is weaker than it used to be. Counterspell now disables spells on con saves, which is booty cheeks. But this is worth it. This makes burning those counterspells worth it. Getting those sorcery points back. 1d4 every time you counter something. Whew, that's spicy. Level 14, Hone Spellfire. Your Spellfire burst improves. You add your Sorcerer level to the temporary hit points gained from Bolstering Flames, and the 1d6 of Radiant Fire increases to 3d6. Yeah, okay. I can see. I see the vision now. I see the vision now. And 18 are Capstones, Crown of Spellfire. As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for 1 minute. Once you use this bonus action, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest or unless you expend 7 sorcery points, no action required, to restore your use of it. Burning Life Force. Once per turn, when you are hit by an attack roll, you can expend a number of hit dice. We're using hit dice as a resource. Thank goodness. I'm already locked in. Up to a maximum equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1. Roll the expended dice and reduce the amount of damage from that attack equal to the total rolled plus your sorcerer level. You're literally burning up your life force to protect yourself. Minimum of 18 damage reduction, by the way. Minimum of 18. Minimum of what? That's 5 charisma modifier. So minimum of 23 damage reduction. Okay. You gain a fly speed of 60 feet and can hover. We love that. And spell avoidance. When you are subjected to a spell or magical effect that allows you to make a saving throw to take only half damage, you instead take no damage if you succeed on a saving throw and only half damage if you fail. You can't use this benefit if you have the incapacitated condition. It's like evasion, but for not just dexterity. Yeah, it's evasion, but for any spell that has a saving throw. Where you take only half damage. Sorcerer, let me tell y'all something about 2024 Sorcerer. Eating. 2024 Sorcerer has been eating this whole time. Mind you, they also get that little Super Saiyan ability where they can increase their spell save DC by 1 and have advantage on all spell attacks. Y'all remember that? It's called Innate Sorcery. It's cracked. It does feel like Divine Soul and Wild Magic had a baby. Honestly, I think I may like this more than Divine Soul. If I'm being real, I think I fuck with this way more than Divine Soul. Just keeping it a buck with you. I think I do. This is a good subclass. This is a good subclass. Okay, we're finally here. It's time, y'all. I think this is the last subclass. Bladesinger Wizard. This is the moment that you've all been waiting for. Let's see what it's talking about. Bladesinger Wizard wields sword and sorcery in elegant tandem. Bladesinger's master a tradition of wizardry that incorporates swordplay and dance. In combat, a Bladesinger uses a series of intricate and elegant maneuvers that fend off harm and allow the Bladesinger to channel magic into devastating attacks and cunning defense. Many who have observed a Bladesinger at work remember the display as one of the more beautiful experiences in their life. A glorious dance accompanied by a singing blade. Blade singing is strongly associated with the ancient elven societies that first mastered the art and coined the term. Even today, most blade singers still hail from old elven realms, such as Cormanthier, or from non-elven societies that share land and history with elves, such as the Silver Marches. Wherever they hail from, blade singers are known for taking their talents all across the realms in order to help common people and perform heroic deeds. Few communities greet the arrival of a Bladesinger as anything but a good omen. All right, let's see. Design notes, Bladesinger updates. Here are the main updates in the subclass since its appearance in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Blade Song now allows you to use your intelligence modifier for attack and damage rolls while the song is active. The number of uses is now tied to your intelligence modifier. That's already so much stronger. That's already one of my issues with the old version. Ooh, sweet Jesus. Training in War and Song now grants you proficiency in a chosen skill from a list of options. Expanded weapon proficiencies have replaced armor training, and you now And you can now use a weapon as a spellcasting focus, which you could not before. I don't think. You still had to have like the ability to cast somatics, I believe. Song of Victory now allows you to make a weapon attack as a bonus action after casting a spell with an action. Oh my god. Level 3, Blade Song. As a bonus action, you invoke an elven magic called the Blade Song. Use it provided you aren't wearing armor or using a shield. The Blade Song lasts for 1 minute and ends early if you have the incapacitated condition. If you don armor or a shield, or if you use 2 hands to make a weapon attack with a weapon, you can dismiss, or if you use 2 hands to make an attack with a weapon or a shield. Okay, I get it. You can dismiss the Blade Song at any time, no action required. While the Blade Song is active, you gain the following benefits. You can invoke the Blade Song a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. I think that was a thing, and then they got rid of that in Tasha's, and people were pretty pissed about it. And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Agility. You gain a bonus to your AC equal to your intelligence modifier, and your speed increases by 10 feet. Okay, that's fine. Blade Work. See, I didn't hate this part of Bladesinger. I didn't hate that. Blade Work. When you attack with a weapon with which you have proficiency, you can use your intelligence modifier for the attack and damage rolls instead of strength or dexterity. Focus. When you make a constitution saving throw to maintain concentration, you can add your intelligence modifier to the roll, to the total. Again, not something that I hated about original Bladesinger. The thing that I hated about original Bladesinger is that you could easily get like 25 pluses on your AC. Bladesingers were impossible to hit because of what they could do to their AC, and I hated that. And it almost encouraged you to do it. Anyway, level 3, Training in War and Song. You gain proficiency in all melee martial weapons that don't have the 2-handed. Oh my god, thank you Charity Adventures for the raid. How y'all doing? Hello, Shea Butter babies. What's going on? Thank y'all so much for the follows. We're just reviewing the new Unearthed Arcana for D&D. Thank y'all for being here today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. It's good to see you. All melee martial weapons that don't have the 2-handed or heavy property. You can use a melee weapon with which you have proficiency as a spellcasting focus for your wizard spells. You also gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: acrobatics, athletics, performance, or persuasion. Pretty good stuff as well. Level 6, extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. Moreover, you can cast one of your wizard cantrips that has a casting time of an action in place of one of those attacks. That was always good. Always love that. Appreciate that. Okay, fine. Level 10, Song of Defense. This is the thing that I hated. When you take damage while your Blade Song is active, you can take a reaction to expend 1 spell slot and reduce the damage taken by an amount equal to 5 times the spell slot's level. So, you know, I understand that Wizard needs this kind of stuff. Wizard absolutely needs this kind of stuff. It doesn't make me feel good though. Hello. We're going to do some world building in my homebrew world tomorrow, so this is great to get primed for doing some world writing. Absolutely. They did bring a lot of the Forgotten Realms places into this UA. I'm really enjoying a lot of what I'm seeing here. There are some things that just give me a little bit of a headache, but this is doing okay. They brought up they name dropped Kalimshan and the Silver Marches, and notice that they didn't mention Chult at all. But anyway, I'm thank goodness. But they didn't mention Chult at all. Thank goodness. So, I mean, I'm used to this being the thing. Level 14, I think this is our capstone. Song of Victory. After you cast a spell that has a casting time of an action, you can make 1 attack with a weapon as a bonus action. Honestly, I think I still have my issues with um Wizard as a whole, right? Wizard Bladesinger as a whole. Um, this doesn't fix every issue that I have with it. Again, my problem with Bladesinger is it doesn't feel like a sword and spell type of class, right? It feels like Wizard with some extra defensive abilities with a sword. You see what I'm saying? And I know that that's probably, I know that that's probably, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Oversimplifying it, right? But when I think of spell swords, right, I'm actually writing one right now. I'm writing one for my witch class that I've been working on called the Coven of the Witch Knight, right? My influences for what I'm making are Alucard from Netflix's Castlevania, right? The hovering sword, you know, being able to control his sword with his mind, having that type of bond with his sword. The Mystic Knight, I think it Magic Knight, Mystic Knight, I can't remember what it's called. From Dragon's Dogma, the first one. What else am I using as influence? Noctis Lucis Calum from Final Fantasy 15. Being able to throw your sword and teleport to it, things like that. Those, like, and of course, the god of spell swords, the Red Mage, right? That is what I feel when I think of a spell sword. Bladesinger will never be that because of Wizard's over reliance on its spell book and its spell casting. Wizard gets its power from being one of the best spellcasters in Dungeons and Dragons. Throwing a sword at them will not make them Red Mage. And I don't know if that's what they're going for, but it doesn't feel good enough to me. They have some incredible defensive abilities here, you know, cleaning up a lot of the wording that really pissed me off about you know, the older Bladesinger, you know, like they were very specific on what type of weapons you could use and, you know, things of that nature. But I like that they've cleaned that up. I like the defensive abilities being a little cleaner. The fact that you can use your intelligence modifier for attacks and damage, that is already a huge boon, a huge benefit to the subclass. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel right to me. And not to say it's a bad subclass, it's a good subclass for what it aims to do, save for the fact that you could easily get ACs of like 25 plus with the older Bladesinger. You could easily do that, and I've seen it multiple times. My final thoughts on this UA is I'm gonna go back through and give like a out of 5 here. College of the Moon, I'm gonna give a 3 out of 5. I think it's interesting to give bards some very interesting druidic things and druidic feels. So I'm going to give that a smooth 3 out of 5 here. For the knowledge domain, straight up, got to give him a 4 out of 5. It is absolutely amazing. And the buff to the old knowledge domain, very fitting, very thematic, very strong, giving them access to psionic spells and a more mental ability and also artisan's tools, very fitting. 4 out of 5 for sure. Purple Dragon Knight, straight up 5 out of 5. Giving from what it used to be, Purple Dragon Knight was a 0 out of 5 for sure. It was terrible. But how they fixed it to become literally a dragon rider, where also keeping those abilities to bolster your allies and stuff and help your allies and move, you know, have them advance or retreat and stuff like that. Still very, very good. Lovely love letter to the old Purple Dragon Knight that was absolutely booty cheeks. Also riding an actual dragon is awesome. Unfortunately, it makes Beastmaster and Drake Warden look like actual garbage. Going on, Oath of the Noble Genie, 5 out of 5. Easy. Giving space for dexterity paladins is awesome. Having an ability that just increases your AC by your charisma modifier, helping you also focus on being a more cast oriented paladin. Awesome stuff. I do love these tenets. They're very flavorful. This subclass is also very powerful and thematic for, you know, having genie power running through you, and also very thematic of what I feel a Callum Shan flavored subclass would be like. So easily 5 out of 5. Winter Walker Ranger, absolutely 1 out of 5. It is absolute dog water. It is awful. Ranger in 2024 is so bad, and its over reliance on Hunter's Mark is the bane of my existence. This could have been a very interesting and thematic subclass for Icewind Dale. If you're running that adventure, that could have been really, really cool, but it doesn't really give you the feeling of being a ranger that deals with the ice and the wastes of the tundra and stuff like that. It just makes you kind of a ghosty ice ranger, but it doesn't do it well. It does it very poorly. Scion of the 3 rogues, straight up got to give it a 4 out of 5 because it having an execution ability built into the class is very strong. Also, you know, I think it's a love letter to Baldur's Gate 3 and how the story revolves around Bane, Ball, and Merkel. You know, saying like, yeah, thanks for putting, you know, our our name in everyone's mouth once again, Larian. Having an execution ability, getting that extra damage from being a rogue. Also some cool extra and thematic spells and resistances, which rogues do not get a lot of times. Resistances, it's really good. Also more of the cunning strike abilities, that's also really good too. Just so straight up 4 out of 5 on this one. I do enjoy this one as well. Spellfire Sorcerer, I think I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 as well. It blends, it does some really things well, and honestly better than like Divine Soul. I love its extra spells. I love the rider effects on expending sorcery points, which your sorcerer is gonna be doing all the time. Having the ability to make counterspell, which has been significantly nerfed since 2014. Getting those sorcery points back on succeeding on a counterspell could be very, very fun and beneficial, especially as early as 6th level. Also, not having to take counterspell, always having it, that's a really good subclass. You know what, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5, actually. We're going to go ahead and upgrade it because those rider effects and the flavor of it is very, very strong. Bladesinger Wizard. Okay. I'm going to do this in kind of 2 ways, right? I'm gonna give Bladesinger Wizard a 2 out of 5. And the reason why I'm gonna do that is because for the main reason, I still don't think that Bladesinger Wizard does sword and spell effectively. It's dabbling in sword. It does not do the sword part exceptionally well. But I also want to give it its own score based on what it is, right? So in that case, I got to upgrade it to 3 out of 5, right? Because it is doing its job, right? Giving you this flavor of being, you know, this casty, flowy individual. Adding your intelligence modifier to attack and damage rolls is exactly what this subclass needed. It's also not as busy as I think. Also being able to cast those spells and also do attacks or substitute your cantrips. Though Booming Blade, Green Flame Blade were not brought into the new spell list though. That's a little frustrating. That's a little bit frustrating. But if you're using backwards compatible content, if you are still allowing Booming Blade, Green Flame Blade, this subclass still gets some great benefits out of those. Substituting your attack rolls, one of your attacks with a cantrip is totally fine. But so those are my final rankings. I really enjoyed reading this UA. I think this is gonna be very interesting. My favorites from here is absolutely the Genie and the Purple Dragonite. The Genie Paladin and the Purple Dragonite Fighter, by far some of my favorites here. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Please subscribe and like this video, share it with your friends. We will be doing more Dungeons and Dragons content as we go on. Before I go, I want you to know that you are loved, you are capable and worthy of love unconditionally. Be kind to others, but realize that you must first be kind to yourself. I'm the Neosoulgod, and I love you so much. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.